Thank you very much. I'm very honored by this prize. Merci beaucoup. Ce prix va aussi aux femmes autochtones qui nous ont fait confiance et qui nous ont parlé, qui ont brisé le silence, qui ont pris d'énormes risques lorsqu'elles ont dénoncé certains policiers de la SQ. Alors j'aimerais remercier Angela, Priscilla, Bianca, Sherilyn, Joséphine et même la barmaid Coco qui nous ont parlé du profond de leur cœur, qui nous ont dit ce qu'elles avaient ressenti. C'est des marques de courage. Nous sommes allés à l'extérieur du Québec depuis, c'est-à-dire à l'intérieur et à l'extérieur de Val-d'Or depuis. D'autres femmes nous ont parlé. Et je terminerai, parce que ces abus-là ont lieu partout, et je terminerai en disant qu'une femme Innu de Pessamit m'a dit, depuis Val-d'Or, les femmes autochtones regardaient par terre. Depuis Val-d'Or, elles relèvent la tête et regardent droit devant. Alors, je remercie ces femmes, Miigwech.
I am so lucky to have worked with a journalist like Josée, who's like so filled with curiosity and human understanding. It's amazing. But when we first started looking into the story, I don't think Josée and I even were aware of how emotional a journey this was going to be. We weren't even sure where to start. I mean, the problems of missing and murdered Indigenous women is just so vast, and the violence that these women have often suffered is just, it's catastrophic in our society. So we're faced with a police force that perpetuates violence, a justice system that doesn't protect them. We're talking about rape, sexual assault, physical assault, and the woman Josée mentioned had the courage to step up and face the TV cameras and tell their stories in an incredibly courageous way. And so this is where I hope journalism and investigative journalism proves its worth. When the justice system fails, when the courts don't do their jobs, when police are desensitized and politicians' ears are deaf, that's when we must investigate. So thank you. Thank you very much for this award.
I can't tell you how thrilled I am to receive an award named after Michelle Landsberg and to be hugged on stage by another one of my professional and personal heroes, Sally Armstrong. Thank you. Michelle Landsberg was offered the job writing a women's column by the Star's managing editor, Marty Goodman, in 1978. When a man climbs the CN Tower, he told her, that's a news story. When a woman does it, it's a woman's story. He was an unwitting feminist because he could imagine a woman climbing the CN Tower. That was an era of what we think of now as blatant sexism. I was offered the same job 31 years later in 2009 by an unabashed feminist editor, Michael Cook. He didn't want a women's column, he wanted a feminist column. The world I'd grown up didn't seem as blatantly sexist thanks to feminists that Landsberg had lauded, comforted, and cajoled in her columns. So much has changed, but the amazing thing to me is how much hasn't. 30 years later, I write about many of the exact same things Michelle did: pay equity, sexual harassment at work, gun control, childcare, or the lack of it. In 1979, she wrote about the culture that blames the rape victim as much as the criminal. No wonder, she wrote, only 1 rape in 10 is ever reported. Whew, that's the same statistic I cite regularly today. So I would say our revolution has been one of tiny, ever-widening circles. But a new boulder has fallen into the pond in the form of Jian Ghomeshi. And I would say that we are in the midst of a 4th wave, and it's really exciting. I've already mentioned Michael Cook. Thank you for choosing me and supporting me, Michael. I'd also like to thank the brilliant and luminescent editor, Alison Uncles, who is in the room today, as well as a rock-steady Janet Hurley. Thank you very much, and thanks to the jury, too.
Thank you.